Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I meet my automotive hero, the Toyota Celica GT-Four. Now, if you've watched one of the recent episodes, you know that I'm a massive Sega Rally fan. So much so that I've actually got a stand-up arcade game sitting in my office right now. It's a game that I have loved since it came out way back in 1995. Now, this is a car with real rally pedigree. It wasn't just in a computer game. This was dominating rallies in 1994 and 95, right up until the point where it got banned for cheating. Everything about the design of this car is function over form. It is brutal, it is raw, and you can see that this is designed for one thing and one thing only: to go fast on a rally stage. Now, the engine is reasonably stock. There have been a few modifications, but nothing that's really going to overtly change the nature of the car. It does have a standalone ECU, and it has been remapped. James thinks it's pushing around sort of 250 to 300 brake horsepower, which feels like it's going to be more than sufficient when we get this car on the road. And power is nothing without being able to get out on the tarmac. So of course this has a four-wheel drive system to make sure you can put that, let's say, 270 brake horsepower onto the road and have that sort of adjustable control that is critical when you're driving on an A road and a B road, but also on a dirt stage. I can't believe I'm sitting in a GT4. I feel so lucky. I never thought this was ever going to be possible, because these are increasingly rare cars and they're really expensive now. A good, well sorted one of these is £17,000, so it is a big commitment. But thanks to James, I'm able to sit in. Let's talk about the interior. It is incredibly driver focused. It kind of reminds me of the Mark IV Supra in that it has this sweeping dashboard to make sure that the driver has access to everything they need. It feels very, very driver focused. Because it's from the mid-1990s, creature comforts are few and far between. We've got electric mirrors, we've got electric windows, but that's about it. James is currently getting the stereo sorted, so there are no speakers, but we don't need the speakers when we're going to be listening to that beautiful turbocharged engine. So immediately you get this throaty roar. It does have an aftermarket exhaust, so it's a little bit bassier than I imagine the stock one was, but I think that kind of just works with it. Makes it feel like a rally car. If the 10-year-old Tom could see me now driving a Toyota Celica GT-Four, what would he say? Probably something like this. Holy shit! This has a very, and I mean this in the most complimentary way, mechanical feel. It's just noise and drama and the chittering of the wastegate. They say never meet your heroes. They say it will never live up to your expectations. That's bullshit. Meet your heroes. They're amazing. Oh, such grip from the four-wheel drive. That's such power. I'm honestly getting quite emotional. A lot of people dream about Lamborghinis and Ferraris. I never did. I wanted a rally hero. A car that was capable on the worst terrain. A car that could get through gravel and mud and snow and ice and just keep going. Gearbox is precise. I'm trying not to tear up. That 10 and 11-year-old Tom playing Sega Rally, he was going through some things at the time. That game got me through a lot. I didn't have a great time in school, and that's why Sega Rally means so much to me. It was a safe space. It was somewhere I could just focus and the rest of the world could just disappear. Oh, it just hangs on in the corners. Listen to the wastegate. Now we're into a slower section. I can talk about some of the comedic aspects of the GT4. One of that is that spoiler. It really does just cut across your vision. But who cares? Who's in your rearview mirror? Only cares what's happening right in front of you. And even though this has been lowered, this is not an uncomfortable car. This is actually really surprisingly comfortable. And I think that's what's always missed when people think about sporty cars. Sporty doesn't mean hard riding. It doesn't mean no suspension. It means that you can adapt to all circumstances. This is an incredibly compliant car, considering it's been modified, it's been lowered, we've got quite stiff Sparco seats. It's not uncomfortable. That's what's really surprising to me. At 40 miles an hour, this is a very comfortable car. It's not even that loud. This is a car you could do a long distance drive in and feel okay. Yeah, I wouldn't say the motorway is the most fun place to drive this car, but it's certainly capable of it. But boy, is it capable in the corners. And that chittering of the wastegates, it's sucking in air and expelling the pressure. Oh, this feels alive. It feels animalistic. A lot of car reviewers say that cars have souls, and not all do, but this definitely does. You can feel it snorting and breathing. I used to ride horses. This gives me that exact same feeling of trying to control an animal, trying to marshal their strengths and guide them forward. This is what this feels with. And there is a moment when you're riding and that you're in sync with a horse that feels very similar to driving this car. You just got to marshal it, nudge it along, and it will just go with you. I thought this car would feel old. It's from the 90s. I thought it would feel like an antique, but it really doesn't. On a B road, I don't think there'd be much that would keep up with this car. The entrance and exit speeds that you can coax out of this vehicle, very impressive. Wait for the pressure to build and those turbos to come on speed, and wow! It just flows so well. It's an absolute cracker of a car. I need to go for one more drive before I have to hand this back to James. Into second. Sorry, I should be talking more, but I'm just having too much fun. The preciseness from a car from 1995 is just incredible. You can really plant and position it in the road exactly where you need to be. My assumption is that this has hydraulic power steering, and you can really feel, because it just tells you so much through the steering wheel of what's going on the road, whilst also still being ridiculously comfortable. This is a fantastic car, and James has done incredibly well with it. He's had to do a little bit of rust repair, some paint work, some modifications. I think he still considers this like a rolling restoration. I'm sure there's more that he wants to get done to make it perfect, but it's already in a really good standard. I think he's, what I'm really excited about, he's going to be putting a mini disc player in. Oh, period correct. It's exactly what you want. And then if you want to finish off, get a mini disc changer that you used to be able to get as well. Put that in the boot. That'd be a perfect combination. Just a beautiful piece of road. I'm gonna miss the sound of that turbocharger. But all things must come to an end. I've really enjoyed driving the Toyota Celica GT-Four. If you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you consider liking and subscribing. And with that, I'm going to keep driving this thing, and I'll catch you down the road.